Good morning, guys. So, today's leadership lesson by John Maxwell. This is one that really hits home for me for multiple reasons. One is that it's all about equipping. And as a teacher, that's what I feel led to do. Is giving people the tools to fulfill whatever the mission is, whether it's discipleship, whether it's just life in general. That's where my heart is. And it's funny because the second reason that today's is a pretty cool lesson is that it's all based off of Ephesians 2, which we just studied the other day, and includes our crew verse, both the original and the second one. So when we're looking at equipping, we have to have some assumptions, and that is a lot of what Ephesians 2 covers, is how Paul and how Jesus really gave us those tools that we needed. So the assumptions, though, that you have to have in order for to be a successful leader, in order for the people that are following, or that you're teaching, or that you're leading, in order for them to be successful, you have to have a mindset. You have to have assumptions. And the first one of those assumptions is that everybody wants to feel worthwhile. You have to believe that everybody that you're leading wants to feel like they matter. Everyone responds to encouragement. Again, these are assumptions that you're making as the leader. Maybe you'll run into a guy or lady, whatever, here and there that doesn't respond to encouragement, but it's very few and far between. So that's an assumption you have to have, is that everybody responds to encouragement. People buy into their leader before they buy into a plan. This is something that I feel is an area that most leaders fail in, is they have this plan and they think they can just jump in and look, they have this vision of where things are going to end, but they don't have the people on board supporting them to do it. And they just assume that, they're going to see this plan and see how cool it is, and they're just going to go with me on it. And that's not really how people work. They have to buy into the leader before they buy into the plan. The other assumption is that you have to have is most people don't know how to be successful. So this is talking about, like, at the start, the reason that we equip and train is because people don't know how to be successful. It doesn't mean they can't be taught. Of course they can. But they have a starting point. Along with that, though, we have to assume that people are naturally motivated. This is one that I think many of us struggle with. There's a lot of us that, including myself, that feel like, well, people are actually naturally not motivated. They're naturally lazy. And that's actually not true. If that were the case, then nothing would really exist. Like, we wouldn't have buildings. People are naturally motivated. They just have to have inspiration and a purpose. People aren't naturally motivated to do stuff they don't believe in. And then that leads us to the last one, is that people will move towards a goal once they receive permission and equipping. So if you look at the model that we use here in Disciple, that's very much what it is. We do the equipping during the prospecting time, and once they become a full patch, we've now given them permission to go and make disciples. And so that's really the model that we use. It's a model that's used in most ministries. if you're doing any kind of church ministry, typically you're trained up first at some location, whether it's a church or some organization or whatever, and then they give you all the tools that you need, they give you the training that you need, and then they say go and do it. And honestly, that's the method that I try to use as well. Like, I've always believed as a teacher that I'm going to teach you everything that I can. So some of you may have heard me say this before. So I'm going to show it, and then so it's see one, do one, teach one. That's the basic method of teaching. Like, if you boil everything down in teaching to how teaching actually works, that's what it boils down to. Person needs to see somebody do it, then they need to do it themselves, usually under some kind of supervision. That's called practice. And then they need to teach it. If they can teach it to somebody, then that means they've mastered that skill themselves. And you see that work in all different areas of life. So, see one, do one, teach one. And that's very similar. We equip, and then we give permission to go and do. So, yeah, Ephesians 2, that's the whole message of Ephesians 2. So I hope you all have a wonderful day today. I encourage you to go back and I know we just did a study on Ephesians 2, but just listening to this, and then go back and read Ephesians 2, and you'll get a pretty good idea of how that works biblically. So, love you all, and I'll talk to you later.